You are starting a business? Good luck to you. Just a quick reminder, most of the businesses that open up shut down within the first 2 years. Oh, you're still motivated? Excellent. Well, let's check it out. If you have not just a risk tolerance, but entrepreneurial mindset. Let's review first an iPhone. Because what made iPhone game changer? I mean, we had mobile phones, right? Right. We even had smartphones already. But iPhone did something else. Apple came up with a product which completely changed end user experience and our expectation from the pocket device. Spotify. What did they brought? I mean, music industry was there for ages and ages, but they also reset the whole industry in their new approach, the new way they offered music. And same thing goes for Netflix, and same thing goes for Uber. They didn't create a new product as we know it. Because let's put it this way. What is the product or service? It's a solution to some sort of problem. And sometimes we as a businessman so concentrated on a product, original solution to a problem, that we forget that interaction with the product, interaction with this solution to a problem, have its own problems all around it. And sometimes we don't need to reinvent the product, but we need to reinvent the approach and all other matters surrounding this solution. And yes, my name is Alex, you are watching Know the Game, and today we're gonna be talking to you about another topic in entrepreneurship called USP. But before we will start with unique selling proposition, let us more concentrate. Do you really understand the difference between idea and opportunity in entrepreneurship? The idea is nice and has a potential. And by the way, most of the people have real, same understanding what truly idea is. Yeah, and we have millions of them. What comes to the difference when we speak about the opportunity? Because what actually brings money is the opportunity, is the ability to turn idea into something profitable. And this is where people starting misunderstanding what truly opportunity is. Because some of them, they think opportunity is about me being able to start this business, having enough money, having enough time, and knowing Uncle Sam who can also do certain things for me. Dead wrong. An opportunity gives two essentials: customers and profit. And the better opportunity is, more customers and more profit it provides. Well, let's start from the scratch. What counts as an idea? Well, idea to open a coffee shop, idea to create some sort of product, idea of using this or another thing together and come up with a new product. But opportunity is something more deeper than we usually expect. It's spotting a demand when there is no supply. It's offering the same thing for less. It's about using connections others don't have. It's using a unique business or marketing approach. Or even simply having an advantage that makes you stand out. Being unique. Let's break down and look what is truly matters when spotting an opportunity. Ask yourself, what need or problem am I solving? How it's important for potential customer. And speaking of the customer, who is my target audience? Can I reach them? And how can I reach them? Who are my competitors? How many of them are there? And what is unique about each of their offerings? Another one, how will I stand out from everything there already on the market? What exactly am I earning money from? And how? Our revenue stream. It's quite essential, right? And finally, what share of this market can I realistically, let's be honest ourselves, what share of the market I can realistically capture? Not a very long list, right? But certainly not easy one either. And this is why I'm saying that any entrepreneur must learn marketing. And thankfully, I have lectures about the marketing, and by now, the lecture about marketing research already out there, so please do check it out. Yeah, critical thing that you will need to do before launching and thinking about registering any kind of business, doing a marketing research, simple as that. So, you got your idea, and once you were answering the questions we listed, you found out that, well, yeah, obviously, your opportunity looks solid. Perfect. Now it's time for us to discuss USP, unique selling proposition. What is that? Simply put, it's what makes you stand out. It's your edge. The thing that instantly separates you from your competitors. A strong USP doesn't just attract customers. No, it builds a wall around your niche. It may not stop rivals entirely, but it sure makes it harder for them to get in. Now, when business enters the market, it usually takes one of two paths. First path is being a first mover, where you are a pioneer and bring to the market completely new product or solution. And second path is basically you're just the next one in line. You can be first, second, 100th, 1000th, millionth competitor. Basically, there's no other way around, right? Who are the pioneers? Well, you definitely know them all. Spotify, Uber, Netflix, Apple. You know them. The main thing, they defining the category, and being first is very powerful because the product itself becomes attached to your brand name. The great examples would be examples of a Jeep, where for many years people were calling Jeep any SUV car. The brand was so powerful, it resembled any SUV. And what about Xerox? Basically, it was not even a brand in our mind. It was already basically a verb, meaning to copy. That's how powerful first movers are. That's why when Bill Gates saw that Apple was about to release a new system with a graphical interface, he rushed to launch Windows first. The result? For years, Windows was synonymous with computers worldwide. And if you have something different in the United States, it's just for United States. Worldwide, computer, Windows, Windows, computer. That's it. Same thing about the iPhone. I mean, the first iPhone, comparing to modern smartphone or even iPhone we have today, is like nothing special, right? But it changed the game, right? It's defined what we should expect from the smartphone. And earlier smartphones on Android couldn't keep up. And even when they could keep up, like HTC smartphones, nobody would notice because smartphones still associated with iPhone. They were first and therefore they were considered to be better. And why concentrate only on the old days? Modern days, we have OnePlus, we have Samsung, we have a lot of different brands that can outperform Apple's iPhone. But perception is still there. So we outlined that being first have a psychological advantage. But the interesting thing, being first in your region makes the same thing as well. My favorite example is India and Pepsi. All fuzzy drinks were called Pepsi for a good while in India because Pepsi came with their drink first, the fuzzy beverage. And obviously in the United States, all cola-like drinks called Coke. That's the power, not only just being first, but even being first in a region. One of the most interesting things about being first is that big players might not notice the opportunity yet. And even they see you going into something, they might just let's see how it goes. The most screaming example was, again, Xerox. Those guys actually created the graphical interface. Those guys actually created the mouse. But they're conservative thinking that who would need a computer in every house? Every housewife and kid will be using personal computer? You kidding me? So it allowed Apple to appropriate this technology from them, from Xerox, and then Bill Gates appropriated it from Apple. Highly recommend you a movie called Pirates of Silicon Valley. It's actually a true story, one of the rare true stories being told on actual big cinema. So the thing is, because nobody knows, will it bring money or not? And for a while, you could really get away with this fact that, oh my gosh, nobody knows the market exists, so I can try it. And as a first mover, you will already grab the good chunk of the market, while everyone else will just start noticing there's a market there and joining in. Maybe this is why quite a lot of corps these days spending money on a crazy startups just because they don't want to miss anything like this. And it's the same reason why Google always checking all the new startups, and instead of corporation of good, they were called before, became a corporation of evil because they're afraid that something new can take away their business. Well, sorry Google, but I guess AI taking the business really fast. Even though you're creating your own AI, but you gave a chance to other AIs to appear and take the business. Woo! But this is their thing, because nobody knows the market actually exists. They will let you slide, and even bigger corps will let you slide and give you an opportunity to do it and to prove that there's a market there. But you are at the same risk, because you also don't know if the market truly exists. And take example from my marketing video where we were discussing with you Omni VR, because they had the situation. Everybody thought there's a huge potential in computer games, in VR, and somebody skipped certain points in their homework because they were so excited. Because, crowdfunding fueled the hopes that, yeah, it's demanded, but things didn't go well. So, result, the collapse. Thankfully, this company could pivot it, but it's not an opportunity for everyone, right? Another thing, being first is not enough. It's really essential to have also a very strong USP, and Apple nailed it. It's not only created the very first smartphone device, which, sensitive screen, it also created own ecosystem, and therefore every Apple device is fully optimized to work with a small number of the devices that Apple produces. And what happened with the Android? Well, Android, on the other hand, is an operating system for smartphones, for all the smartphones, brands, models, yada yada. Therefore, obviously, it's impossible to have very optimized application for all the huge number of smartphones on the Android out there on the market. And basically what Apple have is definitely a feel of premium quality. Why? But because they have the most optimized software for all the models of the devices, not just smartphones, they have. That's not just strong USP, but a very powerful barrier to entry. Okay, so we covered the perks of being first. Let's go back to the earth. What about us? The one next in line, the one who are not the first company on the market. Guys, great news. We already know that the market exists. And example of McDonald's would be the perfect example that since first mover didn't have a strong USP, there's a definitely opportunity for you. Let's take McDonald's. So original McDonald's was giving you basically simple choice. Hamburger, cheeseburger, fries, and a drink to it, most likely cola. But it was given to you the way it is. You don't like pickles? Your problem. Ketchup? Well, go get a sandwich then. And that's an opportunity to been seen by other companies. That's what Burger King did by their slogan, have it your way. Or, don't like pickles? Guys, this hamburger, no pickles please. Onions? No onions, okay, no problem. And there they went. First there were Burger King with have it your way. Then there was char grilled. Then it was homemade. Then was yada yada yada. Some dude came over and said, ha, you all concentrated on the beef? I got the chicken for you. You already know there is a market. So all you need to do, get your twist to it. Well, it's so easy when the market just starts, and the Burger King, KFC and all those others, they just came just few years after McDonald's. We are in the industry which already there for years, and we want to bring the business. What can we do? Guys, it's not about how long and how old is the industry. It's about your approach. For example, I was working in a company that was producing video surveillance software, and obviously when we went to enterprise market, everybody was comparing us with Milestone, the actual first mover in video surveillance industry, a very big corporation having the major market in the industry. And when customers were asking us, so how you can compare with Milestone? We had a very simple answer. Well, Milestone indeed is a first mover. Milestone indeed introduces the new features and much more ahead of everyone in the market in regards of features and functionality. But we have something that Milestone don't have. We have a customer feedback and features adapted to the market already how the consumer like it. You see, in engineering, there's an interesting momentum. First time you implement the product, if there is no other one who actually implemented this product, you do it with your vision. And whose vision is this? Well, engineer's vision. But engineer's vision and consumer vision, they kinda walking different paths. And we'll come back to this in entrepreneurship in our further videos. What is the main thing? Obviously, existing functionality is not always very friendly to consumer. Yes, we have user experience and UI being taught very widely, but still, when it comes to something new, it's about the vision of engineer. And therefore, when we were implementing this or another feature, we were implementing after getting the feedback from the competitor users, what they don't like about this or another feature that already exists in the competitor's product. And then we could apply our new feature according to their needs and wants. And you see, the most interesting thing for the huge corporations like Milestone, changing those things in their software is near to impossible. Because not only they need to confirm it on different levels, they're a huge corporation, so they will be very slow. And also, possibility of it happening just because of several people requested it while it's already making money and changing it costs a lot of money. It could also affect the all performance of the software, because those who are doing software, they know changing something that's already there for a while in the software can mess up everything. See what I'm talking about? So yes, while big companies have a lot of resources, they're lacking on agility. Being big is also their biggest weakness. You just need to see through it. And this is where I want to concentrate, that when we're talking about USP, it's very important to have a strong USP. And here we can come back to the McDonald's, because McDonald's seen that our USP of first mover didn't work out, we need something new. And they added kid meals. But it was hard to copy the kid meal. Easy. Everyone started having kid meals. Okay, they created Ronald McDonald and others created something else. They created playgrounds for the kids inside of their restaurants, and it was really easy to copy as well. So the main thing also there, being first mover helps a lot. But if your USP is really easy to copy, be prepared to come up with new USPs as soon as it's possible. And think how you can make those USPs be really hard and how those USPs can create barriers to entry. Okay, yes, in a while. But there are so many businesses already in this industry. That's it. They already created all the barriers to entry, all the USPs are there. What I can do? Come on. It's a very nice theory. Nice for you, man, recording your blog. Guys, there's always a problem. And my favorite case in this one will be Domino Pizza. Because let's put it this way. What problem pizza solves? Hunger, right? And need for something fancy or maybe Italian. All right. So, what was happening in the times when Domino Pizza opened? There were a lot of pizza restaurants like Pizza Hut, for instance, all around the United States. They had a huge amount of property because, don't forget, in the United States, everybody likes to drive a car. So, not only you have to have a big restaurant, you need to also have a huge parking lot, right? Basically, to enter the game, not only you need to compete marketing-wise, advertisement-wise, which are huge money to compete with the giants which are already there for a while, but you also need to invest in a huge, real estate to be able to compete with those guys. Or do you? Because we started this video about the fact that we need to solve not just original problem that our product solves, but maybe address some other problems surrounding this product. This is where Domino Pizza case study is really good for us, because they address something else. Delivery of the pizza. You see, those huge companies out there, those days, they already invested in the restaurants, in the parking slots. So the main priority were customers who are already there in their restaurants. Pizza delivery already existed at those days, but the priority, right? So if you ordered pizza because you couldn't just visit the restaurant, or just you wanted to stay home, enjoy a TV show and eat pizza, since you're not priority, you will get it quite late. Pizza already popular. So what did Domino Pizza did? They concentrated only on deliveries. They turned their weakness to enter the huge market of United States and competing with the whole huge expense of on real estate and marketing campaigns in regards of competing with other restaurants. No, they used their weakness as their advantage and they took market of pizza to a different level where they didn't have to compete with giants, where they didn't have to invest highly in real estate, because now 100 square meters property would be more than sufficient for us to bake the pizza, and the rest is just for delivery guys to deal with. And they created the slogan, half an hour or your pizza for free. That's it. They solved the problem of getting into the market. They didn't compete with the original guys. Ladies and gentlemen, they addressed a different problem which surrounds the original problem. They saw what everyone else ignored. People wanted fast, reliable pizza, not a giant parking lot. The demand was there, but the existing players weren't serving it properly. And that's how Domino captured the gap, at a fraction of the cost of opening another classic pizzeria. Let's make it crystal clear. An opportunity in entrepreneurship is not only about spotting the gap, but it's also finding a new way to solve a real customer problem. Not just a problem that's being solved by our product or service, but also a problem that customer encountering when interacting with our product. That is what lets you build a unique brand that people want to use. And here's the one interesting thing, an essential thing I want you to remember. Most customers don't want to think. They don't want to compare specs, read fine print, or analyze pros and cons. They want one simple, obvious reason to choose you. That's why USP, your unique selling proposition, must be blindingly clear. No hidden in a table of features, not buried in the technical details. It should hit instantly. Oh, that's why I want this. The clearer your uniqueness, the faster you will be recognized. Now, why it's a really stupid idea, just copy your competitors? Well, guys, they already own the market. They already have loyal customers. They already know the game better than you. And the most importantly, they've been playing it longer. Sure, in social media it sometimes works. A funny skirt goes viral and 100 bloggers reshoot it. And everyone still gets few views because people just scroll endlessly. But business doesn't work like that. A blogger can post a new topic tomorrow. Can you open a new coffee shop, a new sushi bar, a new mobile phone production line the next day? Can you? Copying can make sense if nobody else implemented this in your geographical location. In this case, it really and truly makes sense, because there is nothing locally you have to compete with. But opening another identical place just because there's a demand without any uniqueness, that's suicide. Especially if you're not a big company ready to burn money and run losses for years just to crush the competitors. And here comes a little interesting twist. You see, you don't own your USP. Yeah, you can design things, you can scream about it, huge advertisement, marketing campaigns, but it's a customer who decides if it's truly unique for them. This is why understanding your target audience is so essential, and that's why I highly recommend you to check the video here. So let's wrap it up with the most common mistakes when you are considering USP, and the first one will be contrived USPs. As I mentioned, once I worked at a company that developed video surveillance software. The boss loved inventing USPs out of thin air. Promises like we can easily make it compatible with anything. In reality, there were no resources. Support that we were bragged about being one of the top ones was short-staffed. Roadmaps were really already delayed by years, not just months, years. We were business-to-business company, so partners quickly figured out that those unique features didn't exist. The result, I lost quite a lot of deals and damaged reputation of the company. Number two, confusing or overloaded USPs. Now, if the customer doesn't understand instantly what are your USPs, they don't exist. Don't copy others and list huge number of fancy features. Nah, be short but brutally straightforward and obvious. Number 3 is crazy one, arrogant USPs. Just because inside of the company we think we are the best, we are the coolest, we are the most interesting to work with. Guys, that's not a strategy, that's self-hypnosis. Number 4, conflicting USPs. The most common example is we have the best quality and the lowest price. People don't buy that. It's conflicting in their mind, sounds fake, and it scares them off. Number 5, price is our USP. And obviously, usually we talk about the lowest price. This is the most common mistake. I mean, can you truly offer the lowest price? And for how long? If you are a new player, can you play this game against industry giants? Number 6, easy to copy USP. We already went through this in McDonald's case, but let's put it this way. Yes, being first mover is cool, but for how long it can be your USP that keeps you on the same level? Can you remember those giants, first mover giants like Yahoo, Kodak, Xerox? That's what I'm talking about. If your USP is simple to clone, well, someone will definitely gonna do it. As my entrepreneurship lecture said, a killer USP is the one that other guys cannot do. And that's a very critical one. Since indeed, a great USP is when you can deliver something your competitors simply cannot, won't, don't want to, or again, just can't offer to the market for this or another reason. Well, it's about time to sum it up. What have we learned in this video? Well, first of all, entrepreneurship isn't about wonderful and brilliant idea. It's about spotting a real opportunity, turning it into value, and anchoring it with USP that clear in 10 seconds. And today we covered how to recognize opportunities, define uniqueness, and build USPs that's simple and strong. And now I dare you, stop and think. If you're planning to start your own business, ask yourself, what problems are you solving? Where is the opportunity in there? And what makes your USP truly unique? And is it really hard to copy, or it's easy to copy? If your answer isn't clear and you have some doubts, don't launch your business yet. Don't even register a company. Redevelop it. Take some time, think what can be changed. Because if your USP isn't really a USP, it's not reducing risk, it's multiplying the risks. But if your checklist looks good and you spotted the opportunity, found your uniqueness and nailed your USPs, great story, guys. Excellent. But here's the real test. Yes, everything might look really good on paper, but once a new factor comes, everything can crumble, and this factor called money. Because really, how do we launch our business? Well, we need to launch it through having some money, right? And where do we get the funds? And how we spend them wisely before we even hit break even? Well, that's what we will discuss in our next lecture, in next video, that we will dedicate to Bootstrap. But for today, we are definitely finished. And thank you so much, especially to those people who watched it till this exact moment. I would highly appreciate your likes and comments. They are what truly motivates me to continue doing my videos. And yeah, subscribe to this channel if you don't want to miss my further videos. But as I said, for today I'm finished. Всего доброго. See you soon. Ciao. Uzredzisnos. Всякого хадзайден.